All right, let's talk about a word we all think we understand: innocence. But what if I told you that our entire understanding of it has been missing a crucial and honestly kind of shocking piece of the puzzle? So let me just start with a question that's probably going to sound completely backward. What if your anger, yeah, that raw, sometimes burning feeling, was actually your most innocent trait? I know, it sounds wild, but stick with me here because we're about to unpack that. Okay, so to really get this idea, let's first get on the same page about what we usually mean when we say the word innocence. Seriously, when you hear that word, what's the first image or idea that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably something pure, right? Something simple. We tend to connect it with all these admirable, almost saintly qualities. A childlike nature, being super trusting, not having any hidden agenda, and accepting people just as they are. It's this ideal of being pure and, well, without any tricks up your sleeve. And this is where we immediately hit a wall because, let's be honest, we do feel anger, we feel fear and jealousy and all kinds of frustration. So if innocence is all that pure stuff, how can any of us, with our messy emotional lives, ever really be innocent? It just feels like an impossible standard to live up to. To really see this whole dilemma in action, let's dive into a story. It's a pretty powerful case study in how our emotions and social rules can clash. So, I want you to picture this. There's a serious feud going on in your family, and you and one particular relative are totally at odds. You don't speak, you avoid each other, the whole thing is just tense and unresolved. But now, a family wedding is coming up. And in this community, tradition is everything. The rule is ironclad. When there's a wedding, everyone gets an invitation, no exceptions. It's a social rule you just can't break. So one afternoon, the doorbell rings. You go to open it and there they are, your rival, standing on your doorstep holding a wedding invitation. The moment of truth has officially arrived. Okay, let's break down what's happening in this single moment because there are two completely different things going on. There's what's happening on the inside and then there's what's happening on the outside. Internally, it's just pure rage. Your blood is boiling. You're thinking, the absolute nerve of this person to show up at my house. It's spontaneous, it's natural, it just erupts. But externally, you put on a polite smile, you hear yourself saying, "Oh, a wedding, I'm so happy for you, I'll definitely be there." Your action is totally designed, it's controlled, it's civilized. This conflict, this gap between our inner feeling and our outer action, it leads us to the most important question of this whole explainer. So which one is it? Is it the raw, authentic rage that's happening inside you? Or is it the polite, civilized, socially correct smile you're presenting to the world? Which of those two is truly innocent? And the answer is completely counterintuitive. The anger is the innocent state. And you're probably asking why. Well, because it is the spontaneous happening. It's the thing that just arises in you without your permission or your design. This is the crucial point. We need to stop thinking of innocence as a moral judgment, about being good. Instead, let's think of it as just a description of an emotional state that is unplanned and totally natural. It's what happens to you, not what you do. Think about it, right? You didn't decide to get angry. The anger just appeared. It's a happening. That polite smile, on the other hand, was an action. You consciously constructed it, you performed it. One is raw nature, the other is civilized behavior. So how does this radical idea actually translate into a piece of wisdom for how to live our lives? How do we bridge this gap between our inner and outer worlds? Now, let's be super clear. This does not mean we should just act on our anger or every other raw emotion we feel. Absolutely not. The wisdom here is all about acceptance. It's about acknowledging the innocence of our spontaneous inner world while at the same time choosing to act with grace and intelligence in the outer world. The first part of this whole philosophy is about what's going on inside, in your inner world. Be like a newborn child. This just means you acknowledge the purity and the naturalness of whatever feeling comes up, whether it's anger, joy, or fear, without judging it. But on the outside in your actions, be a university chancellor. Be wise, be thoughtful, be diplomatic. Respond to the world with considered grace, not with that raw impulse. It's about being able to hold both of these realities at once. And that leaves us with a final thought to carry with us. If anger can be seen as an innocent, spontaneous happening, what about our fear?
or our jealousy, or our sadness? What might change if we could learn to honor the innocence of our inner world while mastering the wisdom of our outer actions?